How's it going, guys? Jory here on the Good Use Goods channel. It's the Reseller Six Pack episode. I don't remember. 50? Is it 56?
Oh, is it?
54.
And tonight we're covering. So you want to be a reseller? Everything from the basics to maybe a little more advanced things. How you get started in it. Explain that it's not as easy as some of you may think. And we got a small panel, but we have a few more people that should be coming in tonight. So I guess I'll introduce you guys. Shane, why don't you go first?
Hey everybody, I'm Shane the Resin Grind Picker, and I'm drinking some red wine tonight. I'll probably get off this kick in about a week, and I'll go back to beer, so we'll see.
And Tonya.
Hey everybody, I'm Tonya, also known as Thrifty Treasures here on YouTube, and tonight I am having some apple juice.
Very good. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm drinking, Canadians will know, I'm drinking a Caesar. For Americans, it's kind of like a Bloody Mary, but with Clamato juice, which is clam juice, basically. Tomato clam juice.
And
they're really good.
Hadn't heard of this, right? Like, we've never seen it available in the States. Have you guys in the chat?
I forget about it sometimes when I go to the States and I order it and they look at me like I'm a crazy person.
What's
like, what the heck's a Caesar? So yeah, if anyone from the US has heard of a Caesar or had one, let me know in the chat.
Let's see the bottle again, Jory.
All right. I just kind of polished it off, but...
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what the percentage is. 6%.
Very nice.
Normally you have a piece of celery in there, like a pickled bean or something like that, just to give it that little bit extra. So, does anyone want to start, or I can jump in?
You start.
All right.
That was easy.
All right, I'll start. So, well, if you guys are completely new, basically we're a bunch of resellers. We buy stuff from garage sales, thrift stores, auctions, estate sales, storage units, wholesale websites, vast majority of places. Everyone's kind of got their own little niche they're into. And we'll flip it on eBay, Amazon, Etsy. I know in the US there's Mercari, OfferUp. I know that Let Go. Actually, we just got Let Go here in Canada, which is a great one to source from. Facebook Marketplace. And yeah, try and make a quick dime off used and sometimes new things if you get lucky. My biggest avenue for it is the electronics waste and auctions, because it's a little harder for garage sales here in Canada. With estate sales too, they don't really happen. Garage sales are town wide, so when they do happen, they're busy. It's like Disneyland. There's thousands of people, and you gotta stick the elbows out to make it through. Yeah, I got into it a while ago now. Been doing it probably 5-6 years. And to anyone that thinks it's just easy, it's not. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of getting up. It's a lot of grinding, getting up early in the morning, planning out garage sale routes, hitting thrift stores multiple times in a day, and sometimes coming up with nothing. So when you guys see all those amazing bolos, you guys got to know sometimes that's 40 hours worth of sourcing to find some of those $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 items. The rest usually small $5, $10, $15 items. Is there anywhere you guys prefer to source? Like Shane, do you got any sort of, well, other than your Dollar Tree, you got any favorite source areas?
Well, I like to source at Dollar Tree. So for me, I was really heavy about 2 years ago in the thrift stores, and I stayed like that for about 2 years, and now I'm kind of getting out of thrifting so much. I still go to thrift stores once in a while. Most times it's to scan books, but for me, I either do a lot on running Craigslist ads, or I'm starting to like pick up more into retail arbitrage type stuff. And that's how I kind of evolutionized, right, as a reseller, because before I was going, when I started reselling in 2005, 2006, but I really got heavy in it in about 3 years ago. And how I first started was I was just buying low cost items at thrift stores for a couple bucks and flipping them for 20, 15 or whatever. And I think that as you grow, you start to kind of evolutionize your business.
Definitely.
Very good. Tonya, do you want to mention how you got in it? How long you've been doing this for? You're a veteran probably at this point.
I've been doing this since May of 2000. Started out on eBay. And my favorite places to source are garage sales and the thrift stores, mainly Goodwill. There's several right here within minutes of my house. And so I'm there every day, sometimes twice a day. And love finding all the good deals for sure.
I wish I could hit the thrift stores as much as I used to. I can't now. That living out of town, that's big. It's the biggest kind of hindrance for me, because now it's a 20-minute drive to the closest thrift store. So I got to really kind of plan a day where I know I can hit the city and try and hit them all and make it worth my time. It really sucks now when you hit them and you don't find anything and you waste 45 minutes, an hour's worth of driving. And
yeah, that's true. That's got to be frustrating. And also, I feel like, you know, as a reseller, you have to really be self-motivated, because if you don't, you can become a hoarder really fast, like I have become. So if you source too much, you're not listing enough, you run into lots of problems with storage and, you know, taking over your house. And I know I'm not the only person who has this problem.
No. Well, so, sourcing's fun. It's almost therapeutic buying stuff. Yeah.
It's very therapeutic. Totally. Shopping is therapeutic. It's
the listing that's not. And they say it's hard to get motivated if you have an unorganized or messy place. It'll make you feel tired and lazy and just not want to do things.
True. I just had to cancel my first order on Poshmark.
Oh, no.
I spent hours this weekend looking for a ring I sold, and I could not find it. It was just horrible. But yeah, eventually.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, I know. And especially, you know, my first time on Poshmark, I really hated to cancel the order, but I just couldn't waste more time, you know?
I had it happen with a video game twice for the same game, so it's a cursed game. And it's called Alice in Wonderland, McGee's Alice in Wonderland. It's like a dark PC game. Anyways, sold it like a year back. Couldn't find it for the life of me, and it sold on Amazon. So I messaged the buyer 2 days later, said, I'm so sorry, the order's been misplaced or whatever, it's lost. Refunded them the order and actually sent them out like a free $5 game to keep them happy. Sold it again 3 weeks ago on eBay because I found the game. Went, oh, well, here's the game.
Right. And it's gone again.
I've lost 2 things in the last year and a half, and they've both been the same damn game. So I'm convinced the game's cursed. If I find it again, I'm just going to give it away to someone.
Yeah, just give it away.
Yeah.
Hey, Lonnie. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Can y'all hear and see me okay?
Yep. Yeah, you sound good. I can see you.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. Having a little internet difficulty here. What are we talking about?
Just
you on that bad internet again?
On the wrong router again?
No, we got 2 routers. We got 2 routers at our house, and one of them's farther away than the other. So
we're just going across. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. I want to find out what we're talking about.
We were just going across the panel asking how long everyone's been reselling for and some of their favorite places to thrift. So, I mean, if you want to go next, Lonnie, you can let everyone know who you are, what you're drinking.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm Lonnie. I go by Garage Flips on YouTube. And tonight I'm drinking Michelob Ultra beer. Pretty tasteless stuff, but it's beer. I'm going to probably have to drink about 6 of them tonight. That's all right.
Used that on my boat trip because we ran out of water.
Yeah. Exactly. And what was the other thing? Something about thrifting or something?
Favorite places to source and how long you've been doing it for was the.
I've been reselling for close to 4 years now, or maybe over 4 years. I'll have to check. Maybe close to 4 years. Anyway, my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. And let's see, favorite place to source, definitely garage sales, but it's not the only place, but it is my favorite. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. John, you want to go next?
Yeah, I am John, the Cincinnati picker. I've been away for a few weeks, but I appreciate you guys letting me jump back in with you. I'm drinking a Hobo Life IPA. It is delicious.
Cool can again, too.
So I've been reselling for 15 years now, full-time for about 5 years, and garage sales are absolutely my favorite place to source.
I think probably across the board, garage sales are most people's favorite place to source. It's just the best deals and
it is
kind of the most fun. You're out in the sun all day.
You can't beat the margins from a garage sale.
No, absolutely not. That's true. Yeah. Duane, how are you?
You can't scale up very much with those, but
it's limited here at the garage sales being town wides and stuff. It's super busy and it's a lot more competitive here. Hey, Duane.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Do you want to give yourself an introduce?
Hello, I'm Duane Hale, Mothership Products. I'm drinking ice water tonight. out of a mason jar. You know, I'm keeping it classy like that. What else were we talking about?
You'd think you were in Texas drinking out that mason jar.
I know, right?
How long you been reselling and just kind of favorite places to source? Well, that's so far been garage sales.
Okay, I've been reselling for about 7 years, 6 years. Yeah, probably 6 years, I guess. I started my business, my LLC, in 2012, so February of 2012. I did a little bit of reselling before that, but that's when I started doing it quite a bit more. My favorite place to source is probably Goodwill. We have really crappy garage sales here. I mean, there's just not anything to find. So I've tried going to garage sales several times, and I think I've only actually made some money once. So it's just that I struggle with it. So I'll probably continue to do it, but there's just not a lot out there for me.
Yeah.
Duane, is Goodwill still even your favorite now that you're doing storage units?
Well, I'm not doing storage units right now. I like doing storage units a lot. I really do, because of you get good margin, and you never really know what you're going to get until you get in there. But right now I'm not doing storage units. I'm trying to consolidate all the stuff in my garage and get it cleaned out, because I used to have an e-waste business, and I haven't finalized that and got it all taken out of my garage and stuff. So I just need to make more room before I start doing that. I did just buy a truck this week, so
nice.
Back in the truck business again, so that's good. I hate not having a truck. It's really hard.
What kind of
truck did you get? Oh,
I got a 2006 F-150 Ford.
Nice.
My brother, he's a CEO of a machinery company here, and they were getting rid of their I don't know, fleet vehicles, I guess is what they are. So I got a smoking deal, and I got it for $1,000. So
wow, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, no dents. I mean, the paint is horrible because it was, like I said, it was a work truck, but there's no dents at all.
Who cares? That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. This is my hauling crap around thing. So
yeah,
it's got 120,000 miles on it. It's got the 5.4 in it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, almost any truck running is worth $1,000. Like, so that's
pretty much, yeah, right.
And that's a good year too. That's not even that old.
Yeah. So
awesome.
But
Tonya, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say. So then, I'm probably gonna get back into storage units in the near future, being able to haul stuff around. So
awesome. Tonya, do you want to answer Nevermore Antiques question there, since you're probably best suited for the jewelry question?
Yeah, definitely. So John asked, what is the best way to get into jewelry? What is the quick primer for jewelry? And
stay away, John. Stay away. Stay away.
Rhonda did answer him, and I liked her answer really a lot. She just said buy low and sell high. I would recommend. I wonder where John sources. Like, does he source at thrift stores or garage sales?
He does a lot of thrift stores.
Yeah.
No, he does a lot of thrift stores, auctions, bins.
Okay. So it sounds like he can pick up some jewelry for pretty cheap. I would just start out maybe picking some pieces that are signed and just kind of go from there, and join the jewelry groups on Facebook, Thrifty Jewelry Treasures, and also the new one that Angie and I just created, Jewelry Detectives. We have a YouTube show we do every week, or every other week rather.
And Tonya, whenever you used to talk about signed jewelry, and because I would listen to you talk about jewelry early on, and you would say signed, I thought you meant like signed. Like, I thought you meant like the artist would etch their name into the jewelry or something like that. But what you really mean is branded, right?
Right, branded, yeah. So it'll say something on the back like Monet or Napier, Trifari. Or
a stamp. It might be stamped or whatever.
If it's fine jewelry, they call that hallmarked, right? So it'd say 14K.
Okay. That's a simple thing, but for me, at least, I know if I thought that signed meant something other than just stamped, I bet there's a lot of other noobs that probably would be confused by that too.
Right.
Yep.
Trying to find a piece here that's marked. Like, see, here's a piece, and you can tell it has some writing on it right up here at the top.
Yeah.
But that's not always necessarily true, because you can definitely sell things that are unmarked for good money. So just look for interesting pieces. A lot of the animals tend to do well. Statement pieces, I feel like those do well. Stuff like that. I just love it all. So
I wish I knew more about jewelry. I see it all the time.
Definitely. You should always pick that stuff up when it's cheap, John. If nothing else, you should set it aside for an auction show for the MSP, right?
That is a great idea.
Set it aside and send it to Tonya.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's a good idea for anybody who wants to be on Duane's auction show. If you're not into jewelry, it doesn't matter. If you find it cheap enough, just go ahead and pick it up. Set it aside if you're ever going to be on the auction show, because the women go nuts for it.
That's for sure.
Very good money.
Yeah. Last night we had a lot of jewelry sold. So
Yeah, very good.
Duane's seeing jewelry in his sleep at this point.
See, I know. I'm starting to pick up all the the keywords and stuff, and I'm like, but I don't like jewelry. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's all by osmosis.
Nevermore asked, what are some good names of jewelry? Do you know any, Tonya? Some good brandings to watch for?
Yeah, definitely down here in Texas, I'm always on the lookout for James Avery. I just listed 3 James Avery pieces today, as a matter of fact. They always sell really good and for good profit. Also because a lot of their items become retired and they're really sought after, and people really are looking for them. Let's see what else. Definitely anything marked gold, 14 karat gold, or hallmarked that way. What else sells well? I don't know, anything branded, really. Like Lonnie said, signed, branded.
Precious metals.
Yeah, that's all I know. For the 10K and the silver markings and the gold. That's it.
Yeah.
My favorite brand is
Yeah.
14 karat.
Yeah.
And so eBay, when you go to list, so gold and sterling silver is considered a precious metal also. And you just list those like gold or silver without the stone. So
Very cool. Yeah, I sold an antique silver mirror that was like, the mirror was crap and it was all destroyed, but it still got good money just for the sheer silver weight of it.
yeah, definitely. And I even buy it if it's broke too, because
Oh, yeah.
if it's broke, you can take it to a jeweler and scrap it and get the value for the gold. I do that often. But if it's still a nice working condition, I will try and sell it first before I just scrap it. So.
Very good. Got another question? Be the Village. John, that's your wife, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. How do you grow into an appropriate niche with reselling, or how do you manage trying to resell every different market? Pros, cons of each method. It's a good question too. You can jump on that. I say if you want to grow a niche, your niche should start with what you already really know or what you're good with. If you have a hobby and it was, I don't know, collecting plates, and you know that better than anyone else, look for that. If you're a video game guy, do that. If you're really into electronics, start that as your niche, because you're already going to have the most knowledge in that subject. It's going to be really easy for you to source and find and sell that stuff. Well, maybe not source it depending on where you live, but you're at least going to have a generalized knowledge in it. Cons of selling everything. I don't look behind me. You just it becomes a lot, and then it's hard to keep track of it when you got this much different stuff. Like if you're niched out, it's pretty easy to organize only media or only books or only clothing. It's a lot harder when you got to inventory video games and board games and clothing and movies and weird antiques and collectibles and the freaking kitchen sink. And yes, I literally have a kitchen sink for sale locally.
Here's the deal, though. Like for me, I'm jealous of the guys that are like into one specific niche, because they can really become subject matter experts, you know. But for me, the way I source, I drive from place to place to place. I'm spending time and gas to get to all these places to source. The more I buy at each stop, the better off I am.
Yeah.
Because that investment of gas and time to get there doesn't go up. You know, it's like I got to buy as much as possible. So I have to buy across as many niches or niches, or how, I don't even know.
I'm in the same boat. I can go out one day, find nothing but old computers, go out the next day, and it's literally just clothes and smalls and little, you know, it's just not the same thing. So I can't rely on one niche thing to net me a full kind of income.
Most resellers can't. I mean,
no, I don't think most can.
It's incredibly difficult. It's good to have one thing that you're really knowledgeable about, but you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, because if you're only looking for one thing, it's rare that you're going to find, you know, enough to actually make enough money to live on.
For sure.
Or even part-time, you know, even enough time to make it worth your while if you just focus on one thing. Locally, I've got guys that are just, they do one or two things, and it's amazing. I see them leave a yard sale, and there's all this great stuff that they left.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I do see the benefit of a lot of return buyers and loyal customers, though, with some of the niche guys. Like, I got a guy, all he does is records. I sell him my records. I don't list them online. He makes a profit. So he's got a lot of people that contact him directly when they want stuff, but there's times like now he's making a ton of money with shows and vendors all over the place. As soon as winter hits and it starts to slow down, he's calling me, hey, do you got anything that I can pick up for cheap? And I'm looking for stuff for next to nothing. So it comes in waves for him, but he definitely has more of a loyal buyer basis than I would.
What do you sell your records to him for?
Mostly $5 a piece. If there's a couple really rare ones, and $5 a piece are for really good ones. I shouldn't state those aren't like cheap country records and no-name records. If they're just boxes of no-name and we're not going through them, he pays $0.25 a piece. I just give him the boxes. 9 times out of 10, I'll find them out of, you know, a storage unit or something like that. But I did get a box of about 150 late 70s, early 80s rock music. It was all like Aerosmith, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. Pretty good ones to look for. So some of those we pulled out. They were worth a premium, and I got a little bit more for them. But I make sure that he makes a ton off them. Half the time I'm nothing into them. So it's quick, easy money for me. I don't have to list them. I don't have to inventory them. I like doing stuff like that.
That's another way as a reseller that we can make money, you guys, is always looking for stuff that other people might want to buy from us. Yeah. Even if we don't have time to list it, we can still make a profit off of it by selling it to another reseller.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to leave some meat on the bone, and don't like sweat.
Like I do that with clothing. So when I go to garage sales, when I walk up, they say, okay, like all the clothes are $0.25. I will definitely be looking for things that I can take to the consignment shop. So all I have to do is put them on a hanger, make sure they don't, you know, smell or anything, and they're not wrinkled and they look presentable, and I can sign them and make money that way also. And I don't have to waste my time listing them. I can just drop them at the store and they'll sell them for me.
Hey, I want to read the 615 Millennials comment here in the chat. I like it. I imagine that one day I can walk up to a garage sale and I could see it like Neo from the Matrix. I've actually had this thought, you know, like where you see all the buys. I always wonder what I left behind when I leave a spot. I think that same thing. I would love to have that, like, just kind of do a quick scan and just pop.
Somebody needs to make an app for those Google goggles that just pulls up comps. You know how you can scan a picture with Amazon now? So as you're looking, it's just like $8.99, $12.99 popping off.
You know what, though? Like, I think that the longer you do this, it does get like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like, I've been kind of messing with shoes a little bit, you know? And I walk by my Goodwill shoe section every day. The other day, I picked up a brand of shoes I had never heard of before. I ran them by like Ronnie, Hart, and some of the other guys in the Six Pack chat. Nobody had ever heard of them before, but they're like $300 to $500 shoes.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
And Heinrich Kimmelacker or some kind of crazy, I can't remember that. But the thing is, like, the reason I picked them up and looked at them, they looked like quality shoes, and they felt like when I picked them up, I'm like, wow, that's the most expensive shoe I've ever picked up. It felt expensive, you know? So I think once you start doing this long enough, or once you've been doing this long enough, you start to recognize quality items across all niches, even if you're not like really good at a particular niche, you still can recognize that quality, you know?
Right, I agree. Same thing with clothing too. I've heard April from the Resellers Learning Curve talk about that a lot too. Just by touching and feeling something, she can tell the quality of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even better yet, like the longer you do it, the more so you know the items not to pick up. And that's even more important, because then you're actually saving time by not looking everything up, and you're saving time by not buying bad buys. because I'll be honest, I've bought a ton of bad buys, and I still buy some bad buys sometimes, and I just basically put them in cardboard boxes, and when I get enough, I just ship them to the consignment auction house and just auction everything off.
The hidden stash here says, I like to leave my phone number with the people running the yard sale, and I pick up the leftovers. What I can't sell, I donate and get a discount card. I think that's a great idea if you have the time for it.
Well, that is a good idea.
Really good way to make.
I used to do that as well. I would actually call people on the near the end of the yard sale times on the phone that in their listing, and say, hey, I'll come pick it all up for when you're done. I'll come pick up everything that's left over and get it out of your way. I ended up with a lot of good stuff, but I did end up with an awful lot of crap. So if you're going to do that, what's that?
Was it worth it for you?
At the time, like I said, I had that e-waste business, so I was doing a lot of that. I'd probably say no in the long run. I mean, there were some good ones, but for the most part, I would end up. I went to one place and. The one guy was handing me things, and the lady was coming in behind him and taking it back out of my hand. Oh, I don't want to sell that. I want to get that away. Oh my God, never mind. Forget this. So
I hate that sometimes. Hey, how much for all these video games? Oh, let me ask my son inside. No, don't go get the young son. Just
don't get somebody that knows anything. Come on.
Real quick too, Krillin, thank you for the $2 super chat, and I saw another one. Adam Exploits, I think that's who it was. Adam's Exploits. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. No real messages. What do we got? Krillin said the treasure is always in the black garbage bags at the GS, the grocery store. I don't know about that.
Garage sale.
Oh, there you got the garage sale in the black grocery bags, eh? I don't see many black grocery bags at our garage sales.
I think that's what I meant. Maybe not.
That must be a New York thing or something.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's people in Illinois, they have even clothing they hang up really nicely, like on their garage, or they even have I've even seen some garage sales here that actually have like retail stands they hang clothing on.
I've seen that too. Yeah. You get good at knowing the garage sales where they're just resellers trying to get top dollar at them. You just start avoiding them. You recognize the address. Like, wait a sec.
Definitely.
Steve Bruce Casey in the chat is talking about well, John and I have a Facebook group for the This Week in Reselling show that we do on YouTube, and somebody posted. I think it was Tennessee Picker Kevin. He posted a photo of a haul that he had of all this stuff. It was like a table full of like 10 VCRs or more, and then like a pet safe thing, all this other, stuff everywhere, like high quality stuff. And down at the bottom of the photo, there was like this much showing of the very end, the butt end of a baseball bat. And looking at all this other stuff, John looks at that photo and he types, hey, is that what was that brand, John? Hey, is that a Mikan baseball bat? I'm like, and I went back and looked at the photo for like 5 minutes. I'm like, is there a baseball bat there? It's like it's a little bitty piece. I'm like, damn, that dude knows his stuff.
Right.
I love the sports stuff, man. When people post sports stuff in that group, I get like giddy. I get so excited. I nerd out about it big time.
I just get jealous when I see all the video games you guys find. It's so much.
Oh man, Jory,
you guys are like,
love
look, we
this
got
sale
30 boxes, and
this guy was moving, and he had all this crap in his driveway. Nothing was priced. It was just all in bins. Every bin, I was digging out more and more games, dude. It was crazy.
You're a 6-hour drive. I'm just gonna drive down there one of these days.
You should, man.
I drive to Sudbury all the time, and it's the same damn amount of time. And there's nothing in Sudbury. It's just dirty miners and rocks.
6 hours?
Yeah, 6 hours for me to get.
Yeah, we're not far. You're
John
closer to me than Lonnie is.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You guys need to have a meetup.
And then I think Lauren's even closer to me than you are.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because she's more north.
Oh yeah. She's basically
north and a little west. Yeah, she's basically Canadian.
I'm probably
she's a weird hybrid between the two of our countries, I guess.
Right. I'm probably about 6 hours from John, I bet, or less, probably.
No, you're not that far.
Maybe 4 hours.
Yeah,
4
you're
hours,
like
maybe?
4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 maybe. Yeah.
You're not that far.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be too far. Yeah, well, I'm coming down there one of these days because.
Do it, man.
it's a quarter of what I find here. And I'm pretty good with video games, and it's just so hard to find them here.
It's getting harder. I mean, every time I ask for them, it's like, you're the 10th person that's asked for video games today.
You still ask though, because like
I have a laundry list. I grill them. Like, all right, you ready for this? You got this? No, that, this, that.
I'm telling you, man, you still ask, because the other day, I think like 2 weeks ago, I asked at a sale, and this kid's like, yeah, I think we got some. He goes inside the house. He comes back out. He's encumbered by 3 boxes. The top box has like a PS2 and games, and then the next box has like a Wii U in games, and the next box has an N64 in games, and like you saw all that stuff. I think.
Yeah, I seen that video too. That was good.
And I was like, damn, it was like around noon, and nobody had bothered to ask yet. Oh, games? Oh yeah, and comes back out. I mean, I couldn't believe it. You know, you still got to ask.
Yeah, you do got to ask. I like handing out cards too. I don't really get games much anymore with them, but it's worth it. I try.
Say hi, YouTube.
You say hi.
Too famous.
Hi, Darcy.
Say hi. It's bedtime for the little one.
When are y'all having baby number 2?
Oh man, you're putting some pressure on me, Tonya.
You don't want it to be too far apart, because then they don't want to play together.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get on that.
We're not having more than one.
We'll get on that.
We're sticking with just the one.
Yeah. You say that now, and then once he grows up a little bit, and
oh geez, yeah, don't be telling my wife that. She's got a sister that has 6 kids, so I was like, when you start wanting more kids,
oh wow,
I'm gonna come back and ask if you want any kids.
That's what we did. We waited too long. We waited. Mine are about five and a half years apart.
and that was too long.
Well, they don't play together.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that old, but I'm 30 now. I don't want to have more kids, and then I don't want to be like real old by the time they're leaving the house. So
Ooh, look what Steve Bruzy Casey asked. He said, I always ask, what's the coolest thing you got? That's a smart question. Huh?
That is a smart question.
I've never asked that. That is smart to ask.
That's a pretty cool question, man.
Yeah, I can see you getting some interesting things that way also.
Mm-hmm.
They might bring something out of the house. Yeah.
No kidding.
Sometimes too, you pretend to like what they're showing you. I remember I found a bunch of RC stuff, and the guy just thought I was really into it as a hobby. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I love this stuff," and he ended up giving me an amazing deal because he didn't think I was going to sell all this crap for double the money.
That's what I say, Jory.
Yeah,
that's what I say. Everybody always says you act disinterested to get the best deal, and I
have interest. Yeah.
Yes.
If they seem attached to it, you got to act like you're as attached to it. I find. Like,
yeah,
you got to act like you love that hobby too, and then they're just excited someone else likes it as much as them. Like, yeah, here, you got to take this and this and this. Yeah,
that's how I feel, man. I feel the same way. Oh, that thing, I could take it or leave it, whatever. It's like, why do you want to buy it then?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and even like when you walk into a yard sale and people, like the people running it, talk to you, don't ignore them, because I almost did that. And I found that Next bag, that vintage Next computer bag. It was a company that Steve Jobs had started up after Apple. And I walked into this yard, sale, and I'm like, oh, I'm leaving. There's nothing here. And the lady's like, are you a computer geek? And I'm like, huh? What? And she's like, yeah, check this out. And she holds up this Next bag. I'm like, cool. And I almost walked away. I'm like, can I see that again? I had no clue what it was. And I researched it. Man, I sold that thing for almost $70 in 10 minutes. It was crazy.
That was a cool bag. I like anything old Apple, though. I've never done bad off old Apple products.
I didn't even know what Next was at all. I was completely clueless.
I like that she just pegged you as a computer geek.
Right.
That guy looks like a weirdo. Hey, guy, are you a nerd?
That's exactly how I kind of felt.
Has it been 2 weeks since you've seen the sun? Yeah.
I'm getting sunburned. You got any suntan lotion to go with that bag?
Yeah.
Pass them on.
You don't get much sun in Dollar Tree, do you?
No, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. It's pretty dark in there, so the lighting's not that great, and might have some funny smells.
Good question from the Crazy Card. Is there anything you guys avoid buying? I avoid glassware.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
glassware.
Precious
Definitely.
moments.
I run for the hills with glassware.
Right?
I'm the same way.
That's about it. And a decent amount of clothing. Not knocking clothing sellers. It's just they're too much money here at their stores. And Canadian shipping, if you're Canadian watching this, don't touch clothing. You won't be able to ship it for cheap enough where you'll be able to sell it unless you can find like Prada and Gucci and really high-end brands, which good luck around here. Like I said before, I think Guess is the highest end thing you'll find around here at thrift stores.
Yes.
Maybe some Ralph Lauren. That's about it.
Hey, some of those vintage Guess pieces sell pretty
The
well.
vintage stuff is good, yeah.
Yeah.
And you do find some of that. I do find some vintage concert tees and things like that, and some fun vintage like graphic tees and video game stuff. But for the most part, it's so hard here too because it's going to cost me $10 to ship a shirt in Ontario. So it's already $10 shipping. It's hard to find a shirt that you're going to sell for $20 plus the $10 shipping on top of
That's
that.
a lot. That shipping is a lot.
Basically, if it's over 3/8 of an inch and weighs more than 500 grams. I don't know if you guys want me to convert it, but if it's more than 3/8 of an inch and weighs over 500 grams, you can't send it as letter mail. So you're right up to $10 plus, all the way up to $16 if it's going to the other side of Canada.
That's
Anything
crazy.
smaller than that, you can fit in an envelope. You can mail for $1.25 to $3.85, depending on the weight.
But here's the deal with clothes, though, man. Like the way I feel about it, I don't love clothes either, except I do like my unlisted jeans pile. I think it's pretty. But I do think it helps. Like if you dabble in a lot of things and you try clothing for a little while, and you kind of learn the brands and the kind of things that sell, because that way, then whenever you do stumble upon that really good item, you'll know to grab it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
Like, because there are some things that do sell fast and for decent money.
Yeah.
Wasting $20-$30 on a bunch of clothing that you're unsure about is a great education at a minimum. If nothing's worth selling, you'll learn something from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, because if a certain brand or type of clothing, if you feel the pain of going through the listing and it not selling and everything, that's like burning your hand on the stove, right?
You'll listen.
Just laughing at Nevermore Antiques comment. Americans who know grams have felony charges for trafficking. Yeah, that kid in high school that was always good at measurements and math. How many grams in an ounce? 28. Oh, he's a dick.
He's now in prison.
Or doing really good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
haven't
could
seen him
be
in
both.
years.
Yeah.
Hey,
Could
it's
be like
legal
a
in
millionaire.
half the states here now.
That's true. It's going to be legal here now. It's a slap on the wrist here anyways. It's a ticket. You get like an $80 fine or something. It's the same as having open liquor in public.
See, in Illinois, you can go like some cities, like big college towns, like Champaign is like 20 minutes from me, and it's like a city ticket. But if you get pulled over on like the interstate with just a little bit, that state trooper is for sure taking you to jail. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. How much it is.
New reseller 6-pack topic: how to sell drugs. And
I feel like we've been down this road before.
Right. Do you guys use that Waze app?
Mm-hmm. Whitney loves that.
Yeah, I've started using it too, and I like it a lot because even if I know where I'm going, sometimes I'll keep it up just because it'll let you know if there's a cop up ahead.
Yep.
Oh, is that the one that you can have it sound like Morgan Freeman and stuff?
I don't know.
There's
Mine talks
one.
like a woman. See that little smiley face?
Yeah, we have that here too. Oh, that's a good one.
There's
Yeah.
one app where you can like have it sound like Morgan Freeman, and it's
I
really
wonder which
weird.
one that is. I love his voice.
I know.
So do you
He's
use
awesome.
that
He
instead of
relaxes
Google
me.
Maps? Do you use that instead of Google Maps, Tonya?
I've started using it. Yes, I used to use Google Maps, and sometimes I still do. But I'm really liking the Waze app the past couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, people can update on that. I have that too, and they'll let you know if like a road's closed for traffic or maintenance or something happened.
Yeah, if there's a faster
Like
route.
an accident happened on this intersection, so you should avoid it. Or ride program,
Yeah.
things like that. Police watch.
So
speed
there's a
traps.
lot of user interface involved with it. course, you shouldn't be doing it while you're driving, though, right?
Well, that's why you have the app to tell you when a cop's up ahead to stop texting.
Right, and it knows if you're moving too, because it'll say, "Wait, like, are you a passenger?"
Why is it
That's
so
how they
hard?
get away with it. They have to make you say you're a passenger so they can.
Why is it so hard
Legality.
for people to do things while they drive now? Because when I learned how to drive, I learned on a standard. So, you work in the clutch, you work in the shift.
While eating a burger, while having your roadie.
Exactly.
Driving
Right. Like,
on that country road.
like I'm not even kidding, dude. I'd have like a drink and a biscuit or something, and then shifting and clutching, all that stuff. And now they can't even text and drive. What's
Right.
wrong with these
Going
people?
out for a rip, are you, bud?
Yeah.
Going out
Just
for a
going out for a rip. Now you can go for a rip and text your buddies that you're ripping around. I think it's because you're so engrossed into the phone. Like a sandwich,
Yeah.
you're still concentrating on driving and eating. It's not the
Yeah,
fact
you're
that
not
your
going to
hands
stare
off
at
the
your
wheel.
sandwich, are you?
It's the fact you're having a full conversation. Yeah. Oh, it was a good Harvey sandwich. Bang! Tree.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Well, and I know that people like the flip phones are out. I mean, I have a smartphone as well, but that's why I like the flip phones. Is when I was like 18 or 17 and I had a flip phone, they had the little nudges on the buttons, and you could text without looking at it.
Yeah, you can feel the button.
Yeah, you can feel the
Now you
button.
gotta drive like this and then just drop the phone and ask about the rest of your head nonchalant. Like, oh, geez.
Right, exactly.
So as long as you aren't trying to play Snake on your flip phone, you're probably okay, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, man. So I came in late to the show. What's the title of the show is So You Want to Be a Reseller?
We were talking. Well, we got off topic as usual, but we were talking about kind of the basics of starting out. I was mentioning at the beginning that it's not as easy as some of us make it seem sometimes, because we'll share the really good finds, the $400,000 or $500,000 pickups, because they're exciting. We get pumped about them too. But I think a lot of people don't realize, like I said earlier, to find those $1,000, $500 item. I've been at a thrift store 40 times. And I've been up at 6 a.m. the last 9 weekends in a row, hitting every garage sale in the town. So
Bumcrack Picker in the chat, he said, my mate got done for eating while driving. He spilled his bowl of soup when he heard the police car saying, who eats a bowl of soup in a car? What is that? Is that a thing?
Well, you think you could like put the bowl of soup in a cup, like a to-go cup, and
chicken noodle, yeah.
I mean, what, do you have a baked potato?
a dinner roll, dipping it in the soup.
Little easy bake oven going on his passenger seat there.
That's so funny.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So back to what you're talking about, Jory. So you want to be a reseller. What does that actually mean, the title?
What does it actually mean?
Yeah, like where are you going with that?
I just kind of wanted to keep it open, a little bit more broad, so we could talk about some of the beginner stuff, like some of the platforms we list on, like I was saying, eBay, Etsy, Amazon. I know you guys have a little more than we do. Maybe how much time we're putting into it if you're just starting out. Some of the apps you might want to look for. Easy products to sell if you're starting out. Maybe a little more advanced stuff too, because I think we often forget some of these. I know we got a lot of loyal followers that are always watching, but I forget some of these guys might be new and starting out and just coming on and might not know what the heck we're always talking about with some of our terms like BOLOs and FBA, global shipping. Some people might not even know what that is. I forget. People ask questions like, how do you not know what global shipping is? I'm going, oh, well, I guess if you've never done it, if you're just logging on to eBay for the first time, this is all new. You're blank sheet. You really have no idea. So, I mean, if anyone has anything they want to add.
I have one thing to start this discussion, or I don't know if we're starting or not, but you know what's cool about working for yourself and being a reseller, especially if you're full-time, if you lack knowledge or you lack some skills that maybe you haven't picked up yet, maybe you're kind of new at it. Like I feel like I'm still fairly new at it, but if I feel like I lack some of the knowledge and stuff that I need, instead of like just working an 8-hour day, if I have to, I can work a 12-hour day to make up that deficit. I could trade my time to make up that deficit to actually make the money I want to make. Or maybe I have to work a Saturday and a Sunday every week for a while. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to really bust your ass, especially if you're not real good at it yet.
Time management was the hardest thing to figure out, even for me. I find now that I'm into it, I'm working harder now than I was when I had the full-time job that even allowed me to do eBay and Amazon. I find I'm putting more hours in now and more work than I ever have.
I think that's a common misconception with people that are starting out as reselling or thinking about doing it, is because a lot of it is glamorized by certain people on the internet that it's easy, anybody can do it. And anybody can do it, but you need realistic expectations. You're not going to make a lot of money at first. You're probably going to lose money. Like you just need to start small, don't invest a lot, and just grow it slowly. And you'll be, in a year, 2 years, you'll be a really good reseller, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Honestly, a job's easier, but reselling is more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you don't want hard work. A job is easier, 100%.
But as soon as you hear somebody say, work harder, and when they work smarter, not harder, there is a lot of truth to that. But if somebody tells you that working harder is not a good way to do it, they're full of shit. Because working harder will get you more results. Working harder always works. Now, once you work hard and you find, oh man, I'm out of time, maybe then you go back, okay, I'm going to tweak this and this and this, and I can eliminate this and I can add this, and you can make things better so where you don't have to work as hard as long. But if you don't know all that shit, you can just work harder and make more money. I promise you that.
Yep. 100%.
Right. And I feel like as a reseller, we have the options available to us to sell different things. So if we get burnt out on blue jeans, you can go and sell some jewelry for a little while, and you just kind of build up your knowledge in all the different niches there are available.
Hey, look what Steve Bruce Casey says. If it's fun, it ain't work. And he's so correct there.
100%.
How many of you guys have done like a 12-hour day reselling? Like you sourced all day, you listed stuff, you shipped stuff, all that stuff that goes along with it. You did a 12-hour day and you're like tired as hell, and you're like, why am I so tired? I didn't work today.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I've actually felt like that.
Yeah, like you look outside, it's dark out, and I'm like, wait, where'd the day go? Casey's like, you need to take a break. And I was like, from what?
Right.
Like, you look exhausted. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I listed like 60 things and went to an auction and this and that. Yeah. Because it is more fun sometimes, especially if you're selling things you like.
Yeah. Well, and uniquely me, she had a question. Do any of you on a panel ever just want to give up reselling? I won't good times make up for slow times, LOL. And for me, I absolutely know there was times where when I first started doing this, as a business, I was like, man, I can't figure this out. I can't, and you just have to stay with it. You have to keep grinding. You have to keep buying stuff, listing it, because there's some stuff that is going to be long tail. That's how it is. And there's some stuff that's not going to be long tail. And you got to kind of put into perspective what's long tail and what's not long tail, and how you can make the most money. Because when you think of it, reselling is like uncapped potential. You can make, whatever work you put in is what you make.
Yeah, you're sort of limited. Yeah, you're limited by yourself. That's it, really.
Yep.
That's another thing. Like if you're not currently a full-time reseller, or if you're not like a reseller at all and you're watching this, I would say the most important thing whenever you get into reselling is you have to personally own all of your success, and you have to personally own all of your failure. And you have to own that, because as soon as you go around, if you're looking for a place to complain about things that are happening to you, eBay's doing this, buyers doing that, blah, 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 other sellers undercut, all these things you can complain about. Goodwill price is too high, all this stuff, all these external forces you cannot control. If you become a person that complains about external forces outside of your control, you are going to do poorly, because you will find yourself surrounded by other people that agree with you, and those people will be losers too.
Preach it, Lonnie.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Like,
Amen.
It's a dangerous hole to fall into. I almost got into it when I had the house leak, because I'm getting ahead. The house rentals are getting done. I was finally making it somewhere with the reselling, not needing the full-time job, and then $2,000 worth of damage later from a roof leak. So that was it's a hard one to climb out of because you're like, well, screw this. I'm gonna go get a full-time job now. I'll pay for the house. I'll be done with that. I'll have steady income. Because you run out of time to list because that happened. I'm going, okay, now I can't make money on eBay again. So it's easy to get sucked into it. You got to be really careful. And then all of a sudden you start reading those comments like, yeah, screw eBay, screw that guy that wanted that return. Yeah. And then you go, wait, I've had like 8 returns in the last year and I've never complained about any of them. But this one, it's super easy to get caught into that. And it's like a cancer.
There's always somebody else complaining about slow sales.
Somebody's always got it worse than you too.
Oh, there will always be other people willing to befriend you. They'll tell you, don't feel bad. My sales are slow too. And then you'll feel like, oh, that's normal then. Yeah. Bullshit. That's not normal. You know, that's not right. That's not what we're doing here. We're having good sales. Damn it. Let's work for it. You know?
Right.
Yeah. If you're having slow sales, it's something you did or something you sourced. You're either buying the wrong things, pricing it wrong, or you weren't listing enough.
And if it ain't, and if it is something eBay is doing, or if it is something else that's happening that's outside of your control, then it's still outside of your control.
Yep. Call them, fix it, find a way to fix it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Move on. If eBay's down, concentrate on Amazon. Look into Etsy. Look into local sales. There's other ways around it.
But you got to own all that.
Yeah. Yep. And you know what? That's a hard thing for a lot of people to be able to look at yourself and go, huh, those screw ups were on me. I didn't list enough today, or I handled that return wrong, or like the lost CD that I had, you know, I did that. I don't know where it went. That's on me. I could be mad that I'm out that, but it's my fault. I don't know where it is.
Well, and, you know, a lot of people complain about thrift store prices. And that's the thing is my thrift stores as well. They're getting outrageous. Now I walk in with a scanner and I go to scan books and I laugh because I'm going to buy 30 of their books for 50 cents and sell them for $20 or more on Amazon. And, you know, you got to find different ways to make money.
If they're that bad, don't go to them anymore.
Yep.
They're not really that bad though, because if they were, you wouldn't be going to them every day still. You would just cut the losses. And there's a few thrift stores that have gotten so bad that I don't walk through that door anymore. It's as simple as that. I'm not worried about what I'm missing out there because the prices are too high.
Sure. All right, everybody. There's been several questions about ParrotHead. How many on the panel use ParrotHead shipping?
I've never heard of it.
I do.
I do as well.
I do.
So what ParrotHead shipping is, it's a website. I think it's just pirateship.com. And basically it gives you all the rebates that eBay gives you. Plus there's one for cubic shipping, which is for bigger boxes. You get even more of a reduction in
It's actually
postage.
smaller boxes.
Smaller boxes?
Yeah. It can't be over a certain size. Basically,
okay, you're right.
The cubic shipping, you know how you have like dimensional weight that you pay whenever a box is not very heavy, but it's real big. So you pay like a balloon rate as if it was heavy. Like you can end up paying like a 25-pound rate on a 15-pound box just because of the dimensions.
Us
right?
Canadians know all about that.
Because I mean, like realistically, like for a delivery driver, they start loading boxes in their truck. They're not worried about the weight. They're worried about how to Tetra set stuff in there, to steal a term from Whitney in the chat there. They're worried about how can they physically fit this stuff in the truck. Right. So what cubic shipping does is if the box is relatively small, yet still dense, like it could weigh like 5, 6, 7 pounds, but it's small, it's compact. So if that's the case, then you're going to have dimensional prices as like a discount. Instead of paying more, you're going to pay less because it's small. And then with ParrotHead, you get that discount because they take all the buyers, and there's a bunch of other people that do this too, not just ParrotHead. They'll take me, Duane, they'll take John, they'll take Tonya, they'll take Shane, they'll take Jory, all of our packages, they'll bundle it together, and they'll say, okay, here's all these buyers, and they'll get that cubic rate discount that eBay, I guess, is keeping for themselves because you don't get it on eBay. You only get it when you use a third party.
Yeah.
My guess is
Shippo now too got pretty bad with that.
My guess is they're keeping that little extra part and for themselves, you know, pretty much is what I think.
The good thing about it though is you're never going to pay more than eBay prices because you get all the discounts that eBay gets plus the other discounts that Cubic Rate gets. I mean, you get And you can do regional boxes. You can do padded flat rates. I mean, they're all in there.
Media. They have media mail too.
They have medium mail. I mean,
I haven't.
it's a great
do
thing.
on Pirate Ship. I must be doing something wrong.
I have a
Just-
question.
There's a plus sign at the bottom. You click on it, and then it pops out. It's like additional options. And media is one of them.
Oh, tricky.
What's your question,
How
Tonya?
long has this been going on?
A pretty good while.
Yeah, it's been going for a while.
Yeah.
And there's
Why am
not,
I still hearing about it?
there's more than just Pirate Ship
Yeah.
where you can get this. That's the one I use, but there's many other like places you can get this.
Yeah.
Same
Hey, Craig
thing.
Murray asked, is a padded flat rate cheaper than $7.10 there? Yes. A padded flat rate is $6.90.
Since
And it is integrated with eBay. It'll dump all your eBay shipments in there, and you can get rates on them. It's free. Also, that's another thing. There is no membership fee or anything. It's all free.
And it really just boils down to, the size of your packages. Because I know with me, I've only had a couple that's been cubic, and the rest have been like regular priced. And I'm just like, I always check, but sometimes it's just a little bit too big, for me.
Right. Now the guy that came on from Flipper Tools, he also does the cubic shipping as well, but his is you pay for that, I believe.
He does offer, his, that's what I'm saying, like his service, and there's a bunch of other ones like ShipStation, and then his and the Pirate Ship, and there's a bunch of them where you can get this. The only place you can't get it is eBay.
Let's see. There's also another thing that I like about it. That's one of the main reasons I went to, is what Craig Murray said. And if you use your PayPal card to pay, you get your 1% back.
Right.
Whereas if through eBay, you don't get that. And Adam asked, does it upload tracking to eBay? Yes. It does. It dumps it right for you.
Yeah, you have to log in. You have to log in and give eBay API access to Pirate Ship, or give Pirate Ship API access to eBay, to your eBay account, and then you hit one button and it syncs up or whatever. Yeah,
there's also, I believe it's Etsy as well. I can't remember. I don't use Etsy that much, but I believe there's 2 or 3 of the platforms that it matches up to.
Yeah,
I'd have to go look again.
So since
it's really nice. It's really nice.
Since we're on a shipping topic, shameless plug. If you're a Canadian, just go to freightcom.com. So far, they've been the cheapest for me for everything other than letter mail. Like 40% cheaper than Canada Post and Shippo and PayPal shipping labels. And if you use promo code GoodUseGoods, you'll save 10% on every single shipment you do.
That website is the most Canadian thing I've ever heard.
But you know what? Honest to God, it does save me money, so can't complain.
No, it sounds cool for sure.
Yeah. If they had it in the United States, I'd probably use it.
They do, but I feel like you guys wouldn't get as cheaper rates as you get with like USPS already,
Right.
Because you guys have such good rates. Like for me, like I was saying, to send a shirt, it's like $16, $17 to go to BC. I can use FreightCom. It's like $12, $9.
See, most shirts ship out first class. Highest you're going to pay is $4.19.
Yeah. See, I don't think they do it that cheap. It's just a third-party platform that pulls rates from like UPS, FedEx, DHL, all of them, like 100 different shipping companies. They get huge discounts. They pass on, I don't know what the percentage is, but you do get a percentage of that discount.
So Brenda Yankowski's asking, how does final value fee get figured when we use Pirate Ship? Final value fee is going to doesn't get figured on how much you pay for shipping. It gets figured on how much you got paid to ship.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't change no matter what shipping service you use. The buyer still paid you, say $15 for the item plus $10 shipping. It doesn't matter how you ship it at that point. You're still going to get charged for the $10 you got paid, not actual shipping.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the issue with eBay. Everyone did that do you guys remember when shipping prices used to be insane on eBay because people were making money off the shipping and not paying the fees on it? It's the whole reason we have shipping fees now.
Well, yeah, people started selling things for, I'll sell it to you for $58 shipping,
Yeah.
instead of $98
$1,
and $5.
Yeah.
Tanya has to go, I think. Tanya, you want to say bye?
Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me, Jory.
Of course. Thanks for coming on, Tanya. Have a good night.
Tonya.
Have a good night, Tanya.
Bye-bye.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Well, and it amazes me, like even the Amazon rates for FBA. Like today, I shipped out. Oh, I don't even know the poundage. It was like probably over 40 pounds in books, and I literally paid $17 total to ship.
Gotta love that, man.
Ship all of them, and Amazon has some of the best rates I've seen. Like it's amazing.
Well, yeah, they've got such a quantity discount with all their shippers that I mean, you're not going to beat them. I don't think.
I got a
They
question
probably-
for you guys. Oh, go ahead, Lonnie.
I was just gonna say they probably, whenever they go to bargain for these shipping rates, they probably say, "Hey, give us this price, or we'll just start our own shipping service."
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
They've done that.
They
Have you
could.
guys?
They could.
Have you guys seen the carrier program? It's like 10 grand to get into it for Amazon. I don't know if they have that here. They have it here. If you're willing to
Wow.
invest 10 grand into it, they'll start you up with a franchise. They'll give you up to 3 trucks, and you do deliveries for Amazon.
Yeah.
And
That's
you're
awesome.
guaranteed, yeah, you're
Yeah.
guaranteed package deliveries and stuff. So I've heard a couple success stories off it. I don't know how true it is, but I
And
would
well-
assume it is. Amazon's not going anywhere.
No, and you would get a lot of packages. You would get
Oh yeah.
a ton of packages.
Dude, I live in a town of like 200 people, and the variety store here is also the post office. She
Yeah.
hates Amazon. She loathes it because she doesn't have room for the amount of packages coming into her.
It's
Hey,
probably like above her
what's
desk.
the variety store, Jory? What is that?
Variety. It has a variety of shit, hence variety store. You guys
Is
know
that,
that variety?
is that a common? No, I've never heard
That's-
that.
It's like a it's just a corner store. It's like a I don't know. It's like a
Variety
7-Eleven.
store. I like that.
But it has some
Convenience
extra shit. It's a 7-Eleven with some toilet paper and some dinner and some
Dinner?
meats and some bolts. and-
Dinner.
yeah, man, I can go buy hamburger patties over there. I can buy fresh farm produce, a couple
You can buy
bags of milk.
some French fries and
That
gravy.
sounds like a grocery store to me.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like a mini grocery store. If you took some of the frozen goods out and some of the basic stuff out of a grocery store, raise the price by $5 and put it in a little spot, that's a variety store. And they do really good in small ass towns. Like, yeah, I'll pay $10 for a box of burgers. That would be $4 at Walmart, but I'm going to pay $10 in gas to drive to the Walmart.
Y'all ever tried to buy like a box of cereal at a? You ever tried to buy a box of cereal at like a Circle K?
Oh, it's like
Oh
$10.
my
Yeah, I just got some cereal from the variety store.
You're
It's like
paying for that
anything-
convenience, buddy.
It's like
That's why they're
anything
called
is
convenience stores.
Yeah, we just call them variety stores here instead of convenience because it's not convenient. It's expensive as shit. It's just a variety of stuff.
Yeah. You go to Circle K and you get 2 Tylenol and it's $4.99.
Yeah. All right, I got a question for you guys. So we're talking about, advice for new sellers. What advice would you give yourself if you could go back in time when you first started reselling? Based on what you know now. I'm going to start with you, Lonnie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, I was really in. I was in the middle of a deep thought there, dude. And you interrupted.
Oh, sorry.
When you go to me, I'm the guy. Whenever we go out to eat, I want to order last. So,
Oh, my God. Man,
All right,
this is
well-
getting difficult. Duane, you go.
hey, thank you.
All right. So one of the things that I would have changed if I was to restart, I made 2 big mistakes. Figuring out shipping first. I made a lot of shipping mistakes when I first started because I didn't understand how the shipping worked, the different size boxes, and the fact that hey, the thing weighs 2 pounds, but then when I get it all packaged up, it weighs 4 pounds, and so I lost a lot of money in not calculating shipping correctly. And the other one is what I think probably everybody will say: start sooner. The sooner you start, the more time you have, the more research you end up doing. You just become a better reseller over time.
How about you, Shane?
So for me, I think this is a good one for probably a lot of resellers. I don't know how many people have this problem, but when I was I still sell clothing. I still sell vintage clothing, but when I was primarily doing clothing, I would find like a vintage piece and like, oh, that's amazing. And I would set it back and I would not list it because I don't know why. I just wouldn't. I had to force myself to list those things and to sell them at a good price instead of marking them up crazy high. And I think a lot of sellers have the mindset of this is really rare. Let's mark it up super high. And sometimes that's good, but on everything, you just got to have a really, really, really good price and you'll sell through items.
That's good advice. Jory, how about you, man? Lonnie's still thinking over there.
Yeah, he's still got the thing cap on.
I'm almost at it. Well, it's going to be
Almost.
good.
This better be amazing, dude.
Like Duane said, I made a ton of mistakes with shipping first. I just didn't understand the costs and how to package things, and it just baffled me. And my other, well, obviously I should have started sooner, but my other big thing was being too scared to try new products. I kind of stuck in a bit of a niche for a while, and I saw it as a hobby instead of a way to make money. I just would flip things I collected to buy other things I collected. It never, I don't know why, because I would make money off it, but it never dawned on me as a way to make a profit. And I think if I saw it as a business instead of a hobby back then, I could have excelled it a lot more and really made a lot more money and invested properly instead of technically just wasting it on video games and other things I just wanted in my early 20s, beer money and things.
Right.
I was gonna say you're like 20 years younger than everybody else on this panel, so I don't know how much younger you got started.
I'm 30. I'll be 31 this December.
I'll say I'm 31. I'm 31.
See, there, we got another guy that's
Oh,
same age.
All
I
right.
still get ID'd for lotto tickets sometimes, though.
Shane, you look a little older than Jory. Sorry, dude.
I know, I do. I totally get that.
You know what? In high
But I
school, all
swear.
my buddies used to make fun of me, like, "Oh, when you gonna hit puberty? When you gonna grow up?" And this and that when I was in high school, because I was a little scrawny fucker in high school. And now I make fun of them. I just look at them and go, "Hey, where'd all your hair go? Hey, where'd that beard gut come from?" And they just go, "Fuck you." And, you guys got me in high school. Now you all look like old bastards. You all look like fathers, and I could go walk right back into a high school, and they probably like, "Yeah, how's it going? This is your math exam."
See, I was like the dude in like 4th grade that had a beard.
Yeah, my buddy Bob Keane had a full beard by grade 9, and he's who bought us smokes and beer all the time because no one ever ID'd him. And he hasn't aged at all. He now just finally looks his age.
All right, Lonnie, what you got, man?
Okay, I have two. Since it took so long to get back around, I have two now. So, look, Duane just rolled his eyes, I think.
You heard that?
I did. I can hear the eye roll from here.
He's good.
No, okay. For the first thing I have is to follow your own path. Okay, you need to visualize where you want to be and how you're going to get there, and you need to constantly revisit that because your path is going to change a lot. You need to find your own path, but I think the biggest thing that I would do earlier is I would network with other like-minded resellers. And I know that's like very cliche, but it took me a little time. It took me a couple of years before I got involved with like these guys. And there's a lot of people like in the This Week in Reselling Facebook group that I network with. And man, that enriches the whole experience, and it gives you kind of a shoulder to lean on in a lot of spots. You know, I would get myself out there and network a lot sooner and with a lot more people to where you have like subject. You know how Rick on Pawn Stars, he'll have some weird thing. I know it's all Hollywood, guys, right? But he'll have some weird object come in.
That's for any object he has come in. He doesn't know shit. He just calls.
Right, I know.
Oh, let me call Bill.
Now, you mind if I call my friend blah 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 and have him come take a look at it? And you know he does it every time. Like, dude, you know anything, right? But I mean, the way he does that, like, I actually do that. I actually not as much as he does it, but I actually do that. I have people I can reach out to now because I've put myself out there and I've made like friends, and they know they can contact me for advice. And I would say just network as much as you can, and don't, but don't let all those influences that you have steer you away from your path. You figure out your own path and you stick to it. And you change it every now and then, but that's on you, because you're going to want to do it different. You got to own it. Remember that? You got to own it. So you take your own path. So that's it.
Yep. That's awesome, Lonnie.
What about who's left? Was that just Jory's the only one left?
I kind of won, didn't I? Yeah.
Did you?
That's really hard to beat right there. I mean,
Is that the wrap? Yeah, that is good. Yeah, the YouTube one and the social aspect of it is huge too. I wish I did that sooner too.
Yeah, for me, YouTube is what got me evolve with other people. So that was my path. But there's other ways to do it, you know, to network without using YouTube, I guess. I didn't do it, but
Yeah.
There would be. Well, I networked with the e-waste guy, right? So I don't have to really ever source electronics anymore. I mean, I'm going to pick up 100 graphics cards on Monday, so I'll make a cool video, but I'm going to get 100 of them.
But that's like a direct.
That's a direct network. But that came from, he found me on YouTube, and he was a local guy. Then he came out to the storage, and then we met, and then it blossomed into what it is now.
If I could go back, I think I would teach myself more about everything that goes into the thought process of a buy. Because when I was first selling on eBay, like if I saw a $5 item and I saw that it's over $10 on eBay, I'm like, oh, that's $5, you know, I'll make the money or whatever. And I do the quick math of the thing. And now I know that's a bad buy. And just like the time it's going to take to sell it, how much time is it going to take to list it, ship it, risks involved, like all that. I wish I could go back and really show myself how to really dig deep and look at comps quickly and do the quick math and figure out, you know, in less than 30 seconds, is it a good buy? Is it a bad buy?
Mm-hmm.
How much of that, though, comes from just experience? Though?
Yeah,
You know
a lot
what
of
I mean?
it is, for sure. Yeah. A lot of that is experience, I think.
I think most of the things we'd all do differently. We do differently because we learned via experience. So it's kind of hard.
yeah.
That's kind of a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, the main reason I wanted to ask that is just so that, you know, if there's some pointers for newbies out there to help them.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one more that I would have done earlier is I would have started my inventory the way I do my inventory system.
Oh, God.
And keeping track of sales and all that. I would have started that sooner and made it more robust so that I didn't have to change it so many times through the road. Make it so you can kind of grow into it. But start keeping track of that stuff soon.
Yeah, and make it big. You've said this before, Duane, but make it to where it's big enough to you can grow into it.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
That's probably a lot of new people's problems. Just you all of a sudden
well,
go,
and when you do that kind of stuff, when you do that kind of stuff, you know, you actually see what you're making.
Yeah.
You know, hey, that $5 buy that John was talking about sells for 10, but by the time he's done, you know, he's made 2, and he realized, oh man, this sucks. So it really puts in all those things that you don't really think about until you get to the end of the buy or the end of the sale, and puts it all in there. And plus, it makes it so you can find things. You know, if you have an inventory system set up. So that it's not all in one tub and you're like searching for that one damn video game. Where is it? You know,
man, I've been there.
Yeah. I think we all did. We all started there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Look at what the bearded picker says, Scott. He says you have to learn early. It is okay to make buying mistakes. They are cheap lessons. I think you have to learn. I'll expound on that even further, go further on that, and say I think you have to learn early. It's okay to make any mistake. Like if you can get a little bit detached from your ego and be okay with screwing up, you're going to learn so much more. You really are.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Shane, I had interrupted you just now.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just going to kind of say that kind of to piggyback on Duane's saying is when I first started, I was just throwing shit in the bins. And the one thing that happened is I bought 2 concert t-shirts and they were the exact same ones and a different size. I'm like, how am I going to keep track of these? And so after a show one night, I asked Duane, I said, hey, how do you do your inventory system? And he told me, and that's exactly how I do it now.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be, this grandiose thing. Whatever works for you, just make sure that when you do it, you know, if something sells, you can go find it quickly. Or like you said, you know, if you have it, and what I think I messed up with is I thought, okay, yeah, I can keep track of 25, 100 things. Well, that's great. But what happens when your store gets to 500 or 400, you know, and you can't remember where you put all that crap?
Yeah. It took me digging for an hour to find something that I went, okay, this can't be like this anymore. And then I should have done it sooner, because then you're out 2-3 days just going through each item, inventorying it, placing it.
Yeah, when you got this 500 items forever.
And it should have been spent sourcing and listing and packing sales, but it was spent doing useless, redundant things that should have been done with the first 10 items and just, like you said, growing from there.
I think you got a super chat. Who is that?
Oh yeah, Adam Exploits. Just wanted to say, hi, Roland Picker. Get well soon. Oh yeah, he's not. Yeah. Get well soon to him. I think he posted recently how he was doing on Facebook.
I think he did.
He's been doing like videos on like his whole
his trek, through his medical issues.
Pete had a good comment too. Craig's the Hunter. Hey Pete, thanks for watching. A new niche every couple months, so you don't get stuck selling the same stuff, which is a pretty good idea. If you feel like you figured something out pretty good, move on to the next thing. Yeah, figure out clothing or jeans, and then from jeans, go to, I don't know, video games.
That would be an analogy.
Electronics. And,
Here's an analogy for you. Like the guys at the gym, if they're putting up like 300 pounds on bench press, and that's a lot, right? They're kicking ass. Then like they don't stop there, right? Like that would be like if we were just doing our same old niches the whole time, or niche. I can't say niche. I sound like such a fancy niche. I want to say niche so bad, so I will. So I mean, like that would be like the guy at the gym doing 300 and never putting another weight on. You know?
Yeah.
Of course he's going to put
I used to know guys like this. They could bench press 300, but their legs were little scrawny chicken legs.
I love those guys.
Their legs, right? So,
don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what jeans are. I think jeans are like clothes or whatever would be like leg day. Like Ronnie's jeans are his leg day. And he's clearly skipped them for months and months.
I'm going to show you all. Yeah. You're laughing now. I'll get the last laugh.
It's weird how you let some things sit, because I let some things sit that I know are worth money and I know they're going to sell fast, but you end up doing other things just because you're not interested in them half the time, I find. And then you sell it, it sells in 2 days, and you're going, why didn't I just list this a month and a half ago when I bought it? Could have been done with it, had it out of my house, but...
Well, see, Lonnie's just saving up those jeans for winter because they sell better in the winter, right,
That's
Lonnie?
what I'm telling y'all. So if I don't list them during the winter, I'm going to be the biggest fraud ever, right? I'm putting the winter, man. There's a lot of shit going to happen in the winter. I'll put a lot of stuff off till winter time.
Oh, man.
It's going to be the biggest winter ever. There better be about 154 days in the winter this year.
Not in Louisiana.
Better hope it starts snowing tomorrow.
If you want to come to Canada, you're going to have at least 200 days of it. So,
you guys are talking about waiting to list stuff. I've always been like a really big cash flow guy. When I get stuff, I want to list it immediately. I almost always have stuff listed within a week of buying it, if not quicker, because I want to make that sale and I want to reinvest that money into the next buy.
That makes sense.
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's how you stop getting these death piles that you look at and you end up with a bunch of stuff. It's like, man, I don't even remember why I bought this. You've learned so much since you get to the time. By the time you get to the bottom of your pile, it's like, wow, why am I doing this? These aren't worth anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, think of it as real estate, man. If you got stuff sitting on your shelf that's unlisted, you're just taking up valuable real estate space with it, and it's doing nothing for you. Either get rid of it if you're not interested and put something on there you're going to list, or.
But there's also the other side of it too, Jory. Is like having back stock is valuable too, but you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. And
is it back stock though, or are you avoiding it? If you're listing something that's newer, If you're going out sourcing today and you're listing that stuff today, and your pile from 3 weeks ago is still there, you're doing it. You're doing it wrong.
Your back stock needs to be revolving, not stagnant.
Right.
I try to. It's hard because you want to list the most valuable things right away, but I try to just start with what I got and work my way through it. And it's almost like a reward getting to that valuable quick selling thing at the end.
Yeah, but realistically, you got to list the valuable stuff.
Yeah.
For cash flow.
I think my biggest problem, when I first started, was I was trying to be too safe. And what I mean by that was I was going to a thrift store trying to get the best deal on one item that I was going to sell for $15.
Oh, yeah.
Versus forcing on Let Go and buying an item for $20 and selling it for $200. I was working twice as hard for my money.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at that too.
Bump Crack Picker said some of his death piles are over 25 years old and it's just the value. You know you're in trouble when you bought when everything you bought was new when you bought it, and now you can put vintage in the title.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh man,
That's an old death pile.
that's bad.
I have a hard time with that now.
See at garage sales of the Beanie Babies. Oh yeah, these are collectible. They collected them. Now they're worth all the money. It's like no.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're selling new Beanie Babies now. New ones
didn't
in
know
the
that.
store.
All that.
Yeah. You get them into a couple stores now, and they got all these new. They call them Beanie Baby Buddies now, or something like that, or
That's just creepy.
Beanie Buddies. But it's Beanie Babies. It says TY right on the tag. They're right back, and people were buying them too. That was the crazy part. I saw
My daughter loves Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
She's got like 200 of them.
Not as
Wow.
crazy as it was in the early '90s there, but
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe when I saw them in shelves again. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Tamagotchis too. They got Tamagotchis in Walmart. Like
No
these
kidding.
remade
Huh.
Tamagotchis.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a little different now. They're a little more advanced than the old school Tamagotchis, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're at Walmart now too.
Tamagotchis used to be awesome.
Actually, they were. I don't know if they are anymore, but they were doing pretty good to flip onto Amazon and eBay for a whatever you call that, retail arbitrage. That was like a month ago though, so I'm sure it's already tanked and they're selling for market value now.
Especially the back in the 90s, they had those little. They were kind of like Tamagotchis, but like they were just a little handheld game, and it was like a pet, and you fed it and stuff. You guys remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neopets, maybe?
Or something.
It's
Yeah,
something
that what they
Neo,
were, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my kids had those.
Yeah.
You know, she comes running home from school. Oh my God, I gotta feed it. I gotta feed my.
PGH Pick says, Bump Crack Picker, do you list vintage new with tags? You find yourself doing vintage new with tags a lot. You might have a problem.
Vintage dead stock.
You become a hoarder. Yeah.
That's funny.
He should have done that with like Walkmans.
There you go. Up until I think it was 3 years ago, our Walmart still had VCR DVD combos and a Discman that you could buy. A Dura brand. I think it was Dura brand or Curtis brand or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
You know what? You should see the stuff that sits on shelves in stores. I worked at a Canadian Tire for like 4 days. It's the worst place I've ever worked. It's the only job I've ever walked off of. But I had to do inventory in the back shelf. And Canadian Tire, for you American guys, it's an automotive, it's everything. So you buy automotive, seasonal goods, furniture, everything there. Anyways, doing backstock shelves, you're pulling stuff with like SKU stickers with the dates from the early 90s, 80s. I'm going, how have you had 1984 Dodge headlight covers here? Like, these have never been put on the shelf. They're dusty. And they're like, yeah, we just throw those out. And that's what they do. That's it. They're like, throw that out. It's not inventoried. It's already
That's
been
like
written off
every
as a loss.
eBay seller.
Well, and then you ask, like, can I take this? They're like, well, no, that's theft. And I was like, so I can throw it in the garbage, but I can't take it? And they're like, no, that would be theft. So I just throw the garbage and just drive back the next night and grab it because you're not on work anymore, so you're not technically stealing. It's in the garbage.
Right.
So
it's
you
fun
quit
to
that
read.
job and started just hanging out by their dumpster?
I quit.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I quit. I'm making enough money off your guys' garbage.
That's kind of like the same mentality on trailer park boards. They're like, here, take these tires and throw them by the dumpster, and then we can take them.
Bubbles in his carts. He pushes them down the hill.
I used to steal a shopping cart, fill it up with all the goods,
there
push
was
it, and
one
then sell them the
episode-
shopping cart back and sell all the stuff.
There was one episode that reminds me exact that they were like taking tires off of cars and putting them by the trash and then picking them immediately up and putting them in their car.
I knew a guy, I'm not going to give his name. He used to go around and he used to cut all the catalytic converters out of cars because of what a catalytic
money.
converter would bring for scrap value. Going like 10
Yeah.
years ago, you'd get a couple $100 for a GM truck cat.
Yeah.
But he would only go to body shops where he knew the cars were going to be a write-off. Because when the cars are write-off, it gets loaded on the tow truck and it gets brought to a scrapyard. They crush it into a cube and then it gets melted down. That's it. So he did that for years and he never got caught for it.
Wow.
Because no one ever checks the scrap cars going to the junkyard. So he'd go with his little battery powered Sawzall and he'd try it every night. You want to come out with me? I'm like, no, I don't want to go out and put all these catalytic converters. In all honesty, a couple $1,000s a night cutting converters.
The hidden stash, it got deleted but it's saying pay them in hash coins.
Pay them in hash coins. Get on the bus. Here's a hash coin.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
another Trailer Park Boys reference, of course.
For anyone who hasn't seen it,
I'm sad though now because I watched all the episodes. Now I'm starting on like the newer stuff they've done, and it's just
not as good. No, it's not.
Not
No,
as
no.
good.
Since Netflix took them over
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watch. I'm gonna watch it over again from the start.
from the first season. Yeah.
That's what I did, and it was amazing. I
Man,
binge
when you
watched it
first
every
watch
night.
it, dude, when you first watch Trailer Park Boys, and you're like, wait, why is this guy going around with a he's going around with this liquor in a glass? He's got like this gyroscopic arm, like that the glass never spills somehow, and he's having a shootout.
Yeah.
He's got like the most steady arm ever.
Yeah.
With that,
Oh, yeah.
that cup of liquor there. You know, that show was awesome though.
He never spills it.
It's a thing of art to be able to fall over and not spill your drink.
I know. I don't think he could spill.
It's just that Canadian balance. I mean, a lot of good balancing and drinking techniques. And
Oh, Red Neckerson's Resales is throwing out a burn. How is y'all's Bitcoin doing?
Hey, you know what? You know what? Mine, I got into that and it did great for me because when I got into it, it was 2013 and no one knew what the fuck Bitcoin was. And I used to mine for it. And then I made all my money back come 2015 because all these idiots that thought they could make money on it still were buying graphics cards at a premium, literally ripped apart my rig that had 8 GTX 980 Ti's running. So every single one of those for double what I paid retail because all these idiots jumped on this bandwagon when it became too late. The pyramid scheme. If you guys got in it at the beginning, you made a shit ton of money. If you're in it now, you're a joke. I'm sorry for anyone I'm offending, but that's all
It's
there
so
is to
funny.
it.
It's such a funny question though. Hey, how's your Bitcoin doing?
I think it would probably be more profitable to mine for hash coins instead of
There you go.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it probably would be. Also, comment on Judgment Care USA. I'll sell you a CRT TV. I sell them little suckers all the time. The reason they're making a comeback is retro gamers want them. It's got to be under 17 inches though. Little CRTs. And PVMs and BVMs even better. And Duane, if you find any PVMs or BVMs in your big electronics haul there, shoot me a message because I'll buy one off you right away.
I'll have to go look in my. I got
Bitcoin.
I got two big spray out stuff. So.
Jory, I understood about 5% of what you just said, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
Your mom
I heard
and
what Duane
Bitcoin
said, though.
doing.
Bitcoin. I'll put a bit in her coin.
Ronnie has left the show, and then it goes off the rails. That's what happened.
How your mom and them's Bitcoin doing?
I think you can use
Sounds
Bitcoin
like a
at the
t-shirt.
titty bar now.
Is that not a T-shirt?
That would be a funny T-shirt.
Would be. That'd be good.
That
That'd
would
be
be
a good t-shirt.
hilarious.
Oh
How's y'all's
man.
Bitcoin doing now?
Well, we're getting towards the end of our show. Does anyone else have any comments or anything they want to add to reselling? Or some Yo Mama jokes or Bitcoin jokes at this point?
Your mama jokes? We don't want to do that.
That's a bad idea. Abort.
Oh, that would lead right into a good joke there, as a matter of fact. Oh.
Whose channel is this showing next week?
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
question.
know. We got
Yeah.
Duane on though. So we should know.
Andy's who's supposed to be.
Andy.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you know, Craigslist Hunter says this show only gets good after 1.5 hours. Maybe we should start drinking.
Prior to the show.
Maybe we need about a 2-hour warm up. If we start off like that, maybe it might be a. Boy, could you imagine if we started liquored up? Oh my gosh!
Start
I'm
at like noon, and then drink till 7, and then we start the show.
There you go.
There's a-
Eric Dominic says Canadian balance comes from playing hockey while drinking.
There you go. Eat skates and drink. Oh, I don't miss playing hockey and some buckets and gloves. Those are fun days.
Don't let your mama buy Bitcoin.
Don't bet your mama buy a Bitcoin.
It is funny though. I remember like when I would open Facebook, or I'd open Instagram, or I'd open anything, and it would be like Bitcoin, 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 buy Bitcoin, and all these other coins, Litecoins, all these different
cryptocurrencies
like Steam and all that other.
Because you're looking it up, and that's the man tracking you and giving you advertisements related to your search history.
And it was all these graphs, right? All these graphs. It's like, it was like, damn, we're gonna need a bigger graph. It won't hold.
Bigger graph.
And we're gonna need a bigger graph, guys. If we're coming off a Shark Week, but now you don't really hear that much about the. But although I do think there is a future for cryptocurrency in some form, some iteration. I think it's right now it's so infiltrated by scammers.
It is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
like I said, years ago when I was doing it, before anyone really knew what it was, when I would tell people, and they're like, what the hell's Bitcoin? They're like, that illegal stuff for buying prostitutes and guns? I was like, well,
drugs?
I guess you could use it for that too, but...
Well, and Bitcoin started out on the dark web. Like, that's
that was
where
the
it
whole point
started.
of it, yeah.
You know, hackers used it for currency.
There is
Bitcoin
value in
ATMs
that.
in
When you
Vegas.
could pay somebody, when you could pay somebody for something and not have like a record of it coming back to you somehow. There's
like
value
cash?
there, so you know that's going to be a thing.
Like cash, just internet cash, basically.
Yeah.
I wonder how many drugs are transported via USPS that originated as dark web Bitcoin deals.
I had a
bet
conversation
it's a lot.
about that with my buddy. When I was sending board games to Amazon, he was like, you need to put like a kilo in each board game and list it for $5,000 on Amazon, because no one's going to buy the board game for $5,000, $10,000, whatever it's worth. You sell it to your guys that you're dealing to. It gets fulfilled by FBA. It's all sealed and wrapped up in the board game. Gets shipped out by UPS. Everybody pays us $10K.
He uses Amazon as
I
a
even
mule,
write it off. I do the tax values on it. Government gets their money, so they're not looking into me because they're making their tax money.
So is that the Black Diamond? Is there like a special character somewhere in this Black Diamond listing?
Black Diamond.
Is that what it is?
By the way, there's a kilo of coke coming with this.
You could fit a lot. You could fit a lot in a clamshell VHS case. I'm sure you could.
It's the Black Diamond Cheech and Chong edition.
We have here. You can, British Columbia sells tuna can Kush, so you can buy marijuana and it comes in this sealed looking tuna can, and you peel it open.
That's weird.
It's $50. You buy it from BC. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they legally do it, because you're not legally allowed to sell it here yet. But they've been getting away with it for years. Ships through Canada Post too.
How hard would it be to get a can of that? Never mind. We'll talk about that.
I don't know if it's scary to mail it over or to drive it over.
Dude, you mailed a fifth of booze to Shane.
It was a collectible.
No, I didn't.
bottle.
I never happened. That was some other guy.
It was
liquid.
totally empty, and it was a really cool old bottle.
Yeah, it was an empty collectible bottle.
Yeah, that
Custom fit,
was
anyways.
kind of not empty, but yeah, it was a collectible bottle.
Well, you filled it up once it got there, Shane.
That's right,
That's
yeah.
what
I mean, yeah, with
As soon
water.
as we start talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the gateway to drugs, kids.
It is
There you go.
See,
Yeah.
we're talking about drugs now.
the gateway to drug dealing.
I'll send you some Caesars though, Shane. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
we'll stop
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's technically like a vegetable or a fruit. You know, it has
Yeah.
tomatoes.
I'm just
tomato
gonna
in
send
it,
it as
so.
tomato.
Steve is saying prices for bottle only. That's like those $100 jarts boxes you see.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I bought some of those. Remember when I bought those, John, at a sale? This is probably
I do.
a year
Yeah.
ago or something. And I told John, y'all know I'm talking about the lawn darts?
that was like banned because of killing people or whatever.
Right. So I told John, I said, dude, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on Reseller Society Facebook group, and I'm going to say, hey, guys, can I sell this on eBay? And they're going to, I'm telling you, within 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to get a private message with somebody trying to buy them from me. And I shit you not, I sold them within an hour for like, I don't know, $60 or something via private message. They were pleased as punch. You know, you remember that,
Not
John?
only that, but you had a list in the comments of like, oh, did you sell it? If not, I'll buy it. Like people in line.
Oh, yeah. I had like 4 or 5 of them ready. Yeah. It was cool.
And
That's
then,
like those.
The rest of the comments were preaching to you. No, you can't sell it. Oh my god!
I'm like, you'll put your eye out. Like,
Don't you know about all the people that died?
Yeah, the people that died from lawn darts are the people that are now eating Tide Pods today. We just got rid of all the stupid tools that that damage.
I played lawn darts when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never lost an eye.
You don't like just stare at the dart as it's coming at you.
Oh, shit! I had a BB gun at 5 years old. I still got both eyes, all my fingers.
Lawn darts is
dead
fun.
birds and squirrels,
Lawn darts
but-
and some croquet and
Those locally though, do you guys have those? They're inner tubes that get pulled behind a boat, but they're the ones that fly in the air. Have you seen them? So
Right.
no, well hold on, let me pull up a screen share quick. They got outlawed here, but if you can sell them locally, you'll get a couple $100 for them. And they're inner tubes, like a water tube that you go across the water, but they're really wide and they have like a wing set to them. And if you pull up on them, you'll go up 10, 15 feet in the air.
wow.
And I'll bring it up. And they got
That's
outlawed
insane.
because somebody died. It flipped upside down.
That's fun. Somebody died. Ha ha.
And I'm sure there was
Yeah.
Hundreds of
Somebody
thousands
died.
died though. So, odds are I'm not gonna die.
they're boating and drinking a lot.
I know I won't die if I smell one.
All right, you guys ready? Here, I got the screen share for you. I'll show you what they look like.
Selling one won't kill you. That's for damn sure.
No,
This is them right here. These things.
That's insane.
See, they fly in the air. So you pull up on them, and they
They're
launch in the air.
really high.
But they got outlawed because they'd go up in the air and then they'd flip upside down like that one, and people's heads would hit the water first, going like
Break their friggin' neck.
50 mile an hour, and it breaks. Someone died in one of the Great Lakes in Canada. It broke their neck. But like, that's one person out of how many people?
Yeah.
That's like banning booze because one idiot died because he drank a bottle of vodka through his butthole, which was a thing for a while. Do you guys remember that when kids were putting tampons soaked in vodka up their butt to get drunk?
I absolutely do not remember that. At all.
I remember
I've never
that.
heard of that in my life.
Yeah,
hell, man?
high school kids were soaking. Here, I'll end the screen share. High school kids were
Don't share that.
soaking
I don't want to
tampons.
screen share that.
No, I don't want to screen share that. They were soaking
That-
tampons in like vodka and whiskey, and they'd
Yeah.
shove them up their butt because there's no liver filtration or kidney filtration, so you get drunk really quick, I guess. But then kids would get alcohol poisoning, and kids were dying off
Wait,
that.
you can get drunk through your butt? What?
'Cause it doesn't filter it. It's a true story. Google it if you don't believe me. For anyone watching,
Well,
you gotta
it's
get
out.
drunk
You
through
may
your
not want to
ass.
watch the next show, guys. Just saying.
Beer,
The
a beer
next show,
funnel.
everybody's gonna be standing on their head.
Looking like Ace Ventura talking through their ass, sipping beers.
yeah. But I think about the same time, there was this game that was going through elementary schools where kids were making themselves pass out and then
I did
dying,
that
and
one.
then
Yeah,
a couple of them died from it.
You'd
Yeah.
hold yourself like that. You'd hyperventilate, and then you stand
Yeah.
up really fast, and someone would hold your neck because it would block your arteries. And you'd hold them until they passed out. They'd snort, make a funny noise, they'd twitch for a minute, and then they'd come to.
Right.
Twitch for a minute.
But people did that. I've seen it done. There's dumb people though. There's people eating Tide Pods now, and people snorting condoms, and
Right. You're right.
what do you expect? The only difference is we have media outlets to share all the stupidity.
I've been
Yeah.
called a drunk asshole before, but
Not exactly that way.
Never had a drunk asshole though.
no.
Oh my
Billy
god.
Bob, hold
Yeah,
my,
they were
hold
doing
my,
what-
hold
what's
my
that?
beer, hold my beer and watch this lawn dart.
Yeah. Quick, shove the funnel in my butt. I'm gonna chug this beer and throw a lawn dart.
Oh
How's
my
my Bitcoin doing, by the way?
Yeah.
god.
On that
We've
note.
officially jumped.
Oh.
Hidden
I think-
stashes. That's the only way to get drunk on Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, if anything, Lonnie's just
Like, no
hydrated now.
shit, I'm on number 5, and it's like, I can feel it a little bit, but it's not much.
I still one of these days want to send you guys all Canadian beer, and we'll sit here and go beer for beer.
Oh,
Or some,
I want a can of
No,
that tuna
Canadian
you were
beer.
talking about, dude.
that what?
Tune, I can't that too.
That can of that tuna. I'll send you a can of tuna.
I'll buy a can of a Star. There's going to be like a $1,000 can of Star Kissed on eBay now.
Chicken of the sea, buddy. Chicken of the sea.
Chicken
Lonnie,
of
if
the
you
sea,
if you receive an unmarked package to your address, don't be alarmed. It's just the tuna can. I'm just not putting a return address so they don't know who it goes to. Or I don't really like my neighbor a couple doors down, so I'll just use his name and address.
Just wear gloves. Just wear gloves when you package it.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Or go to PetSmart, get one of their boxes, wear gloves when you package it.
I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look it up. But I'm sure the fines for trying to mail a drug across the border are equally as bad for trying to drive drugs across the border. Maybe not.
Sure.
Next video. This is Steve Bruce Casey playing lawn darts while butt drunk. Butt drunk. Is that a hashtag? You're butt drunk.
Well, Ronnie,
like you, but I bought with my mama's Bitcoin.
Oh man.
If we ever meet Jory, I'd be tempted to go beer for beer. Rod, hey Rod, if you want, you can jump on right now. I'll go grab another beer and I'll race you. If you want to go beer for beer,
Please
do it.
I'll send you the link right now. Just let me know in the chat if you want to do it. I promise you, you're gonna
Rod, you would die,
lose, but I'll go nuts. I've never met anyone that can drink it as fast as me. I've met a few people that can drink as many beers as me, but not as quick. But
Yeah, Jory does it crazy quick.
I can crush an 18 pack to a 2-4 pack of beer, no problem. Hell, we have 38 and 28 packs up here.
Wait, 20 a case isn't big enough for you, huh?
38.
38s and 2-8s. If you guys really want to go drink, I mean, if there's one thing I feel like Canadians are known for, it's drinking. And
dude, at what point do you just get a barrel?
Yeah.
Like, see, I used to buy those little mini kegs, but they get kind of warm and flat unless you have a keg fridge. So I just got sick of warm beer.
Yeah, we'll have to do a centennial sometime there, Jory. 100 beers in 48 hours.
Oh God.
Oh geez.
Yeah. Okay. I've done.
The
stuff
only
like
rule
that
is you can't puke. You can pass out, you can fight, but you can't puke.
Can't throw up.
I would totally barf.
I can try it. I'll try her. And I never made it through. I tried doing it when I was 19 or 20, and I didn't make it through a full one. I've done 24 in 24 hours. I've done that fine, but I've never done more than that.
Hell, I did 12 in a 2-hour period.
Yeah, I can
way
do
back
that.
at the beginning of that.
I remember going to Grand Bend. It's a big beach around here. We bought a Texas Mickey, which is, I don't know, it's like 4 liters of whiskey. They're the big ones with the pump. I don't know what you guys call them down there.
Texas Mickey?
Yeah, we call them Texas Mickeys here. Because a Mickey, if you buy a Mickey here, they're little. They're this big. They're like, I don't know. We call them Mickeys, and then 26ers because there's 26 ounces, and then a 40 because there's 40 ounces in it. And then Texas Mickeys are the big ones because everything's bigger in Texas, right? So we call them Texas Mickeys. I remember me and a buddy of mine bought a Texas Mickey. We're like, this will last us all weekend. Saturday morning, we were back out at the LCBO buying more booze. Can you do the beer mile? I've never done a beer mile. I don't even know what a beer mile is. But I'm down.
Is that drinking? Is that like drinking a beer every lap or something like that?
That's awesome.
Like run like a quarter-mile lap and then drink a beer, run a quarter-mile lap, drink a beer.
Oh, the running doesn't sound very good. That just sounds like heartburn and indigestion.
They have a it's a 4K or whatever. It's called the Fat Ass 5K, and it's literally in Peoria, Illinois, I think it is. And people just walk and go to bars and eat, and they don't ever make it past the 5K mark. That's the kind of race I need to be in.
Yeah, in the Marine Corps, we used to play slosh ball. Slosh ball, you put a keg on second base, and you have to pound a beer every time you pass second base.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So
we do something like that when we do snow pitch, which is baseball in the winter. You just play in the snow. It's pretty fun actually trying to run through snow playing baseball. But usually every base you hit, you slam your beer.
Do you use an orange ball or a yellow ball in the snow?
Snow pitch? No, you use a white ball. And last year, someone tried to hit the ball. A girl, I'll never forget this. She swung with all her might, aluminum baseball bat, just right out of her hands, went swinging. I was standing in between my buddy and his brother, Justin, and his brother there, and the bat went flying, hit both them in the head, didn't hit me in the sand. And
wow,
they both dropped beside me, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And then a aluminum baseball bat was laying in front of me. One guy had to get.
Those are the guys that would get killed by lawn darts.
Yeah, right.
The innocent bystander drinking a beer is the guy who catches the lawn dart in the eye. Never the guy throwing the lawn dart. Unless you're throwing it straight up, I guess. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, Rod, get in touch with me. I'll get you on my channel. We'll drink a beer together or two.
Wait, who has the show next week? We didn't.
Duane.
Andy.
No, Andy. That's right. So we'll just crash Andy's.
We should all race Jory, but I want to be last.
1, 2, 3. That's okay.
Wait.
I can do 4. I can do 4
We
in a
should
row.
race Jory at what?
Drinking
Down in a beer.
I'm trying to think of what I could beat Jory at doing. Like,
You can down some Kool-Aid. Hey, y'all got a drink because I just sold 100.
Jory, can you add fast or anything? I can add fast.
Can you
I know how many beers I drank. Y'all got a here. I just had a sale.
Nice.
$75.
Whoa.
For, CRT
you got, man?
monitor.
Good job.
Oh, speaking of CRTs, somebody just said that.
Yeah, CRT monitor sold for $75 plus shipping. Going to New Jersey, United States.
Damn, they couldn't find a friggin'
7.
CRT in all of the US of A. They had to go to Canada to find one.
There you go. I guess so. I was the only guy that had one of those ones, that exact model for sale. So,
Wow.
wanted that one. Did the computer come with it? Yeah, it did actually. The computer was free. I bought the monitor for $5, and he threw in an old Windows 98 computer, which is it's beside me, but I don't want to lift it up because it's heavy. So it's an old computer. It's beige.
Oh, Blackberry Thistle Tea. Wait, y'all didn't wear your lawn dart helmets? It's hilarious. So funny.
I remember my old man told me I looked like an idiot wearing a bicycle helmet, so I never even wore a bicycle helmet.
I don't think they made helmets in the 70s.
No,
I don't think you could buy a helmet in the 70s.
My 71 Ford I had didn't even have seatbelts, which was nice. Grandfathered into no seatbelt law.
Dude, if we would have saw somebody on a bicycle in the 70s, late 70s, if I would have saw somebody on a bicycle wearing a helmet, I'd been like, what? What the hell are you?
Well, even when I grew up, it was like that. Like no one wore helmets riding a bike.
No one wore helmets when I rode a bike.
I remember my dad's like, "You don't need one of those," and threw it. And then I had a bike wreck down this huge, gigantic hill, and I slid down the hill on my face, and I had like rocks stuck in my head. Yeah. And he's like, "Well, she would wore a helmet." What the heck?
I see more people on bicycles wearing helmets than I do on motorcycles.
Yeah. I should law here. You
got that one for you.
You got to wear a helmet on a motorcycle here by law. With bicycle, you don't if you're over the age of 18. If you're under the age of 18, they make you wear a helmet.
Here you got to have a seatbelt on, but you don't need a helmet on a motorcycle. Figure that one out for me.
PW Holiday says, how were your kids supposed to stand up in the back seat with a seatbelt on?
Right.
Yeah.
we would have fun. It'd be like Mom would take a big turn and we roll to the other side of the car. And then she'd go the other way, roll to the other side.
I remember when my mom and dad, he had a truck. I used to fall asleep in the floorboard.
All right. Well, we've gone over the show time, I think, haven't we? Do we normally call her at 9:30?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Whatever.
I've just been drinking, having a good time.
Yeah. We usually go an hour and a half, so we're over by
a little bit.
30 minutes.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any final thoughts? I gotta pee and get another beer.
Your final thought is I have to pee?
Yeah.
I have to pee.
That's my final thought.
That was really deep, dude.
It's real deep with me. Leave you thinking on that one for a while.
My final thought is to follow your own path, change your own path often, and to have a hell of a lot of fun. That's my final thought.
Good advice.
Good advice. Anyone else?
Have fun and source Dollar Tree.
And source Dollar.
Dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. I'll watch your video. I'll source Dollar Tree vicariously through your viral video, but I'm not setting foot in that place.
Did you see the books I picked up on the new one I put out?
Yeah, $111 off of 12 or something like that.
Yeah, it was this all books for Amazon. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Nice. That's pretty sweet.
Follow your own path, change your own diaper. That's what Scott says.
All right, guys. Well, now
Dude,
that
if you
we've
could
derailed,
change your own diaper, maybe you shouldn't have shat yourself in the first place. You know?
Oh man,
That's a real. You can change your own diaper. That's pretty. That's a deep one. Change your own diaper.
that's a deep one.
oh my god. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. The show will be on probably Andy's channel next week. If you haven't already, checked out the Reseller 6-Pack Facebook group. We'll let you know whose channel it's going to be on each Sunday. Check out This Week in Reselling. It's John and Lonnie's thing they got going on. There's a Facebook channel for that too. And I guess we'll see you all in the next video.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.